Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Friday, July 26, 2024, the opening games for the Summer Olympics in Paris, France, and surrounding cities. And the big story is somebody sabotaged the rail lines, the high-speed trains that connect a lot of these cities where the games are taking place. Again, they're in Paris and 16 cities around Paris. With regards to the Olympics and terrorism, again, the 1972 Munich Games come to mind, now 52 years ago. And it's interesting that those attacks in Munich ended on September 6th. They were blamed on a group called Black September, but they ended 9-6 as we'd write it in the U.S. And in the United States, you had the 96 Summer Olympic bombing in Atlanta. Tomorrow, July 27th, will be the 28th anniversary of that attack. But anyhow, Paris, where today's incident is, the home of the Jesuit order, where they were founded by Ignatius of Loyola back in 1534. Notice the name of the rail line that was attacked, Eurostar, which equates to 54, like terrorism, like Jesuit order. Again, 54 is huge with the Jesuit history. Their headquarters at the Church of the Jesuit, Building 54. The man who's in charge of the Olympics this year, a former Olympian himself who's from Germany, where the Munich attack happened. Let's not forget Germany is where the Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt in Bavaria. Bavaria also equals 54. But this man's named Thomas Bach, 54. He's in charge. He was 19 years old in 72, the year of the Munich attacks. And as we know, 19 is the chaos number. If you're new here, Gematria is based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. Jesuit order equates to 54, and it equates to 72. And again, their logo's the sun. Sun equals 54. It moves 1 degree on the astrological wheel every 72 years. These numbers are important. And a lot of Jesuit rituals, 54 and 72. For example, we got the first Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis. Think about that in light of the Jesuits being from France. Just like how Argentina beat France in the rigged World Cup one day after his birthday in the first ever Men's World Cup that ended in December. We saw that before the tournament even began, how that would be the outcome. But again, just the Jesuits in 72 and 54, endless examples of what they've been up to. Let's not forget the Jesuit priest, Father Amiot, wrote Art of War. He was out of France, and he published it in 1772. But yes, chaos. That's the headline. Attacks on French railway lines leave exasperated travelers in chaos as Olympics kick off today. Chaos has that Gematria 19. Again, Thomas Bach was 19 in Germany back in the days of the 72 Munich attack. Now, the full name of the company that runs this train line in French, which I'll brutalize here, but Société Nationale des Chemins de Fer Français, has that Gematria 177, like the Jesuit order, like New World Order, like propaganda. And let's not forget the first use of the word propaganda was by the Catholic Church. And if you want to look that up, they used the word propaganda in terms of spreading the story of Jesus. They spread the propaganda of Jesus to spread the brand of the church. I'll let you think about that. The abbreviation for the rail line is SNCF. That has the Gematria 42 and 21 like Jesuit. Also like war. Let's not forget they're a military order. Today is 42 days from the anniversary of the Munich attacks ending on 9/6, September 6th, back in 72. The English translation of the train company is National Company of the French Railways, which equals 389, which is the 77th prime number, and today's date numerology is 77. Does it remind you of the London 7/7 bombings? Planes, trains, and automobiles. Remember, on September 11th, 77 factored into the terrorism too. They told you Flight 77. There's still never been a video released of Flight 77, but supposedly Flight 77 crashed into the Pentagon 77 minutes after taking off. Again, in the 9/11 Commission report, they said it took off at 8:20 and crashed at 9:37. The Pentagon's on the 77th meridian. The Pentagon's 77 feet tall. Never mind you, construction began just before Pearl Harbor, and they called 9/11 the new Pearl Harbor. But yeah, there's that omnipresent 77. And, in light of the Jesuits running the show, it's 222 days after the Pope's birthday. The phrase order out of chaos equals 222. And of course, in my last book, Number Games, I wrote about why the pandemic came 222 months after 9/11 on the nose. There's a lot more to all of these things, but just familiar patterns. They're calling this the 33rd edition of the Summer Olympics. Technically, there hasn't been that many because 3 got canceled due to world wars, but they're calling this the 33rd, and it's fitting it's in France because France is the +33 international dialing code. And the last, major attack at the Olympics was on the 33rd parallel north in Atlanta, again back in 96. How the Munich attack ended on September 6. For the record, 1972 Munich, that was 52 years ago. Terrorist has that gematria 52, like government, like authority, like Pope, like the 52 weeks in the calendar year, named after the Pope. And if you're somehow living and you don't realize the calendar that says today's July 26th came from the Jesuit order, it did. It came from Christopher Clavius, the Jesuit priest. Just like how the English language, a Latin language, the language of Rome, came from the Catholic Church. Again, in the 16th century, the century of the Jesuits, they synced up the calendar and the language, and they've been unfolding their rituals that they use to control the minds and populace of the world to steer us down the agenda they've steered us down. The one where we all believe in silly religions and give way too much leeway to authority and corrupt governments and pay way too much money to go to indoctrination centers, which we call schools. Again, the Jesuits have built this world around us, and they built a society of sheep. And who's even flocking to watch the rigged Olympics? Of course, wealthy people are, people who've benefited from the system, but nobody should be going to any of these spectacles. There's nothing wrong with athletics and competition, but these games are rigged, and they're all full of high ritual like this. This is high ritual right here. So if you want to read my post, there is a little bit more information on Thomas Bach. Today, this attack came on his 211th day of his age. He's in charge. That's the 47th prime, like 47 is the number of authority. It's also a big number with France's history. And, there's a few other little tidbits in here. They said there were 3 successful attacks of 4. Probably a little tribute to the Trinity. Don't forget, 3 has that same gematria as Society of Jesus, as Abrahamic, as light. There are 3 Abrahamic religions. In the 3rd verse of the Bible, which the Abrahamic religions are based in, God makes light. See a lot of pairings of 3 and 56. It's like Super Bowl 56. We knew it was a lock for the spread to get covered because it was a 3.5-point spread game. We said, it's going to be a 3-point game in Super Bowl 56. And we liked Odell Beckham, number 3, born on the day, leaving 56 days left in the year to score the first touchdown. Again, that kind of rigging in the Super Bowl is the same kind of rigging you'll see in these Olympics. But the number patterns, they always come together. Paris, France equals 56. Society of Jesus equals 56. Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, dead in 1556. Again, 3 attacks on the rail line to start off the games in Paris. We'll leave it there for now, and until next time, Truth Seeker.